So if you're a regular viewer of mine, you may have noticed increasingly large gaps between uploads on my channel. The last DBFZ guide was in April, followed by the first Street Fighter video in July, and now it's already late October with no new upload. While that's mostly on me, there are reasons as to why I haven't exactly been active recently, and I want to update you guys on the state of things and give you a bit of a heads up about what is going to be changing and what you should expect from me in the future. So I'm going to be very blunt about this, and it really pains me to say it, but DBFZ is not what it used to be, and it is no longer financially viable for me to make these high production, in-depth character guides. I am one guy working on these, and the time invested into these videos is simply no longer sustainable for me, and I shouldn't have been able to continue like this for a while. But I have been holding on because I believe rollback could be the second win the game needs. What no one expected though is how long it has been taking Bamco and Arxis to actually implement rollback, and over a year after the announcement we still have no date in sight. With the closest thing to an announcement being the Battle Hour in January, and even then there's a good chance that nothing will come out of it, or maybe we'll get a date that's another several months out. Who knows? Also, the burnout is real, and we cannot get much higher. People often ask how long these videos take to make, and I always tell them that they take as long as the time between them. I try to aim at 3 to 4 weeks per, but I do need to take breaks, and I'm also always trying to make them better, so it rarely ever works out that way. I've been making these guides for 3 or 4 years, but now more than ever, it's getting really hard for me to keep productivity up. It's especially annoying when my second monitor currently looks like this, and my main monitor is starting to have the same problem and I can't even afford to replace it. For some reason I'm also getting crazy frame drops in DBFZ, so if anyone knows what might be up with that, let me know please. Anyway, when I'm making big edits like the Exodia bit in the Vegito guide, or the Evangelion edit in the upcoming Videl guide, I have so much fun making them. Even if they're sometimes a bitch to make, they're very satisfying creatively. But once those are done and I move on to do the same things with a different character on screen, and I need more and more YouTube video essays in the background to keep my mind from drifting. It gets very demotivating seeing all the effort go into a video or a game on essentially live support, with increasingly frustrating balancing decisions for what was once the pinnacle of fighting games in my opinion. Like, genuinely, they had to nerf 4 characters, make the 2 worst characters viable, and add a few new things to other characters so every player has a bit of a new toy to play with, and fix a handful of bugs most related to Gotenks. Yet here we are, we get 2 patches that don't address the core issues, make absolutely bonkers buffs that break the rules they established to characters who didn't need it, and most importantly, don't even seem to think about the balance changes, because there wouldn't be universal level 4s if they wanted the matches to be shorter, and Videl's 5LL wouldn't whiff on crouches if they understood the basic concept of pressure. I had to redo more than half of the Videl block strings because of that. The video was delayed by a month. Let's talk about Street Fighter 4-bit. A month after Street Fighter 6 came out, I uploaded the Kami guide, and to be honest, it bombed hard, on top of being copyright claimed shortly after going public, so I didn't even get a lot of the revenue for that. While that wasn't unexpected, you guys are primarily DBFZ players after all. It did show me how Street Fighter 6 just doesn't lend itself to the DBFZ guide formula, and I don't think I can provide the Street Fighter players with the same quality videos as you Dragon Ball players. The game is good, don't get me wrong, but it's also my first ever Street Fighter, and other players simply do a better job at explaining than I do. I don't want to upload a video I'm not happy with because I know it will definitely reflect in the video itself. After playing SF6 for a while, I've also realized that I don't think the game is for me. I love sick combos and I love jumping, but I hate labbing specific matchups and interactions, and matches that can be decided in just a few interactions, which really explains my preference in fighting games, which are DBFZ and Multiblood, and explains my most despised fighting game, Strive. By the way, I'm not saying SF6 and Strive are bad games, though I do believe Strive is genuine ass. I simply have other preferences. And while we're at it, let's check off the other fighting games in the market right now, because people ask me all the time also. MK1 released most recently, but I simply don't care about Mortal Kombat. I'm not into 3D fighters, so Tekken is off the table too. I've already mentioned Strive, I'm not into any platform fighters, and all the anime games out there that are actually cool are too niche to base an entire channel on. Persona 4 Arena, Under Night In-Birth, BlazBlue, Skullgirls. If you like DBFZ, you should play Multi-Blood Type Lumina by the way, because that game is goated and criminally underrated. The new Granblue could be good, but I doubt it'll have the same audience as Dragon Ball. Project L is definitely the release that I'm looking forward to the most. If any Riot agents want to hit me up for some coverage on it, you know, my DMs are open. Other than that, I would do anything to get One Piece or Naruto fighters. If that is Hiroki's new project that she's talking about for the Battle Hour event, that would be so hype, but there's no chance they would be announcing that at a Dragon Ball event. So what can you expect on this channel in the near future? Am I done with DBFZ? Well, no. The Videl guide is done and up on Patreon right now and will be made public in 2 days. I have half of the Trunks remake done also, and that should be a lot more painless than Videl. But as far as the guides as you know them, that'll be the last of them. After that, I'll revisit the super old, super outdated guides and prepare notes, do one recording session, explain and voice over the stuff in the lab as I'm doing it, and cut it together into a package that will be structurally very similar to what I have been doing, but probably end up being less condensed as a result of being voiced. I don't know yet if I'll keep my memes in there. I'll try to keep those in though. Actually, I realized I could probably stream those recording sessions as I'm writing the script for this video, so maybe that'll be the revival of my streams too. So yeah, if that happens, twitch.tv/tinytalk with 2 Ys. Outside of DBFZ, I will try out content entirely unrelated to the FGC. I have 2 big ideas right now that I want to work on, but those are still in the early concept stages. I can tell you though that it'll be a major shift from what I'm doing right now. If you aren't interested in anything other than DBFZ, I fully understand. I won't blame you for turning away. I would really appreciate it though if you guys bear with me for a bit while I throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. So yeah, in short, Videl guide coming out in the next 2 days, Trunks remake is in the works still, and I'll be revisiting the old guides with a more sustainable approach, possibly streaming it. But I'll also try more variety content, and I hope you guys understand. If you want to support me in the meantime, there are 3 ways to do so. If you know a lot about your character, or find really informative and useful videos about them, you can join my Discord through the link in the description, and if you give yourself the DBFZ role, you'll get access to the DBFZ submissions and DBFZ resources channels. Anything you post in submissions, I will look through it and most likely add it to the respective character's resource channel with full credit. Not only will that help me out significantly when researching and exploring the character, but it also helps the other people there and may even help to update the DBFZ wiki at some point, as a lot of it isn't maintained very well anymore. The second and more obvious way, and I really don't want this to look like I'm asking for donations, but it is supporting me monetarily through Patreon. I cannot stress enough how hard the patrons have been carrying this channel, and I am so grateful to them. If not for you guys, I wouldn't still be on this platform. I'm sorry that I can't offer you guys more Patreon benefits, since I'm unsure on what I can even do, but be thankful. The final way is to just keep watching my stuff. Leave a like, a comment or subscribe, or just rewatch an older video to boost the interactions, maybe share the video with a friend. That is more than enough, and I think that's everything said. Have a good day everyone, hope to see you soon.